Vermont has an abundance of year-round fishing opportunities, but as New England's only landlocked state, anglers in pursuit of saltwater species have to make a long trip to the coast. But if you're looking to hook into some striped bass, however, there's a great opportunity that's much closer to home. A growing number of Vermonters are heading over to nearby New York each spring as hundreds of thousands of stripers make their way up the Hudson River during their annual spawning run.
Fish on, gentlemen.
That's yours.
Nice fish. Now we're hooked up.
During the peak of the spawning run in late April and May, the Hudson River can produce exceptional fishing. Even when the action is slow by local standards, an experienced guide can make a day on the big river a trip to remember.
I'm Captain Matt Trombley, a U.S. Master Coast Guard captain. I'm also a career firefighter with the city of Burlington.
Feels like a striper. They like to keep their head down and bulldog.
The fire service has been a great passion of mine, hence the name of my business, Third Alarm Charters. The name of my boat is Flashpoint, which is a fire service term. And not too distant future, down the road, I will be retiring out of the fire service. I'm 40 years old right now, and certainly see a time down the road that I look at making this my second career. There we go, perfect. Certainly a passion that I see myself doing until I can't climb aboard the boat anymore.
That's about as nice a little release as you want.
You can't take that any better. Look at that. Hook popped right there.
A little schooly.
Yep.
They're beautiful fish.
They are, certainly are.
I love the color when you turn them. Get that little violet hue to them. And they're just a clean smelling fish, easy to handle, easy to lip like a largemouth.
And good eating.
And great eating. This guy, however,
not quite yet.
He's going to get a few more years. In 2009, Matt Trombley began running charters out of Roundout Creek in historic Kingston, New York, which is only 3 hours from his home in Florence, Vermont. Over the years, he's helped haul plenty of keepers out of the Hudson, which is known for both lots of striped bass and large fish.
The stripers come up in thousands of numbers. We get the term blackout on the fish finder screen, and the chance to really get trophy bass. Most year averages are 8 to 15 pounds, and the great possibility of getting a 20 to 50 pound fish are here.
Fish like that are catching the attention of a growing number of Vermonters, many of whom would be hesitant to fish for stripers on their own on coastal waters.
There's a lot of recreational fishermen up in the Vermont area that have boats a little smaller than we do, but they come down to learn the river with us and our tactics and what we're doing. You don't have to have a multi-million-dollar boat to enjoy the fight of a striped bass.
How far up from New York Harbor are we right now? How far upriver?
Roughly 90 miles
90
right
miles.
here. Yep.
And how far to Troy Dam, to the end of the run?
It's about another 60 miles north up to Troy Dam from here.
So there's 150 miles of river to fish.
Exactly.
From the Adirondack Mountains to New York Harbor, the 315-mile-long Hudson River has a long, rich history, and it remains a vital transportation corridor today. Once severely polluted, the river has made a remarkable recovery over the last 30 years. And one of the brightest success stories is the return of huge numbers of striped bass that make their way all the way up to the dam in Troy, which is only about 20 miles from the Vermont border.
This is a fish.
That's it.
Hold him right there, Lawrence. Just keep your rod up. The river certainly has a history of producing what I would call trophy fish. Anything that we boat over 20 pounds is a trophy fish.
Just give him his head for right now.
Yep, just let him run. Let him run. The best that I have boated so far in my time on the water here is 34 pounds. And that was reeled in by a 9-year-old young man. And he took his time. You have to be very patient with these big fish. They have paper-thin mouths, and they tend to throw the hook occasionally. And keeping tension on the rod certainly is a key to having big fish come to the boat and staying hooked up.
He's come up some. He's got to be tired.
I'm going to lay bet that we're into a 10 to 20 pounder, maybe better. We'll find out.
Oh, good solid dive. There he goes again.
Nice.
He must be able to see the boat. All right, you got the bead there, Matt.
There, nice fish, Lawrence. Just hold him up.
Yep, hold on.
Hold him up, nice, easy, guys. Nice fish, fantastic.
That is
about a 15 to 20 pounder. We'll see here.
Oh, wow.
Look at the belly on him.
Look at the belly on that fish. Beautiful.
Here we go.
Nice.
Open your mouth. There
I'm
you go.
guess about 18 pounds.
I would say 15 plus.
Yep. Beautiful
Look at the
striper.
belly on her.
Beautiful
I'm
girl.
assuming that is a cow. I'm almost tempted to release her, to tell you the truth. What do you think?
It's totally up to you guys.
Let's
if you like the
release her.
fillets, but we can certainly release her. I encourage people to do that.
I mean, this is a big gravid hen right
It is.
here.
Yep.
She's
Nice
got
belly.
thousands of eggs in her.
Thousands. They say someone will release up to 1 million.
You read it?
20 and 1 ounce.
Matt, hold your shoulder just there.
That's a better fish than I thought. She is just a shade over 20.
Fantastic fish. As we call her, a big dog.
All right, I'm going to give a quick length.
The river record is in the high 50s. A couple of the other captains I work with here have voted fish 52 and 54 pounds. Certainly the opportunity to take a trophy fish is here. I usually expect to put a fish 15 to 18 pounds in the boat on every trip. I shouldn't say that it happens every time, but the vast majority of them they do. But a fish that breaks 30 pounds is certainly going to put a smile on most people's faces, and that's certainly our target goal.
I don't know, you want to shake
Beautiful.
that
That's
hand?
the handshake I wait for.
Good
Congratulations.
striper slime on that.
20-pound striper in the boat is a beautiful day.
Because the Hudson River below Albany is tidal, no fishing license is required. However, you do have to get a free permit from the New York Recreational Marine Fishing Registry. This allows biologists to monitor the fishing pressure on striped bass. That looks like a fish. That is a fish. What do you think you have there, Matt?
I'm going to take a guess on a 10 to 12 pound fish. He's taking a little drag, but he did come up. Normally the big fish like to stay down. I grew up fishing the waters of Rutland County, Lakes Dunmore, Bombazine, St. Catherine, and offer charters on Lake Champlain. Obviously, people love to fish for trout and salmon, but this is a species that you can't get in Vermont. It's something that is very close in a short drive, but having something that's totally different than what we catch on a daily occasion. And I think that's a huge attraction. Right there.
Here's your fish, Captain.
Beautiful.
You hold it for Neil.
About an 8-pounder. Again, beautiful colors. You can tell it's a male. They're milking this time of the year and during their mating season. These are great eating size. The predominant size that we catch are these 8 to 12 pounders. There is literally hundreds of thousands of them here in the river, and this is the average size that we catch down here. Certainly a 20-pounder and up as a trophy, but this is a very, very good fish. Great eating. Fish on over there.
When he's not busy dousing fires, Matt can usually be found on the water. He spends June and July guiding trips on Lake Champlain, then moves over to Lake Ontario for king salmon in August and September, returning in April for brown trout. But come May, he's always on the Hudson, and over the years he has helped a lot of inland anglers catch their first striped bass.
I've got as little as 6-year-olds that have reeled in these fish, and I have folks in their 80s that have come on board with us. And it's a great family trip down here, and with the mixed variety of different sizes, you never know what's going to be on the line, and it can be the fish of a lifetime.